I'm going to go ahead and state the obvious. This is probably the first time I've seen my face all day when I put the camera up. And yeah, I got a little bit of sun today. It was really hot. So don't mind the sunburn. We're just going to rock and roll right through this video. All right, so here we go. I was asked this question, and it can go either way. So I want to kind of give you my side of it, and then you guys can maybe add yours, or maybe you don't really agree with it, and there's reasons why the other side would work better. But this is where it's at. Someone asked, should you go big? Build a shop, put a bunch of tools in it. Get a. I guess you'd get a loan, unless you got that much cash. You can just do this all out of pocket, and just go big, or should you start small and work your way up? Me personally, I don't really believe in the build it and they will come mentality, and this is why. Because I think that is the fatal flaw with so many things right now. You could really get me started on the fact that weld schools, colleges, any kind of a program you can pay and get certified, that the mentality is that if you buy it, if you pay for it, then all of a sudden, bam, it's smooth sailing. Well, no one tells you when you get into these things, especially welding school, that that's just the first step. That's the first step to like a 10 to 15 year success plan. That's the first step. That's not you get a bust out and you're going to have all these connects and all this jobs lined up. You got to get out there, meet people, get a network, and all that stuff. So the same would work for me on business, specifically if going big, getting a location, a building, all the equipment you need for whatever idea you have. I don't think that that's appropriate. Just because you spend the money doesn't mean it's going to work out. If anything, you're going to probably fail, because I think in like 5 years, I think over the course of 5 years, 98% of businesses fail. So, yeah, you could believe you're the 2%, but why not hedge against it just in case you are the other 98, or you find out you don't really like business and you find out it's not as illustrious as you thought, and you do want to go back to being employed by someone, or you get a great offer. So don't put everything, don't go way out on a limb, I should say, in my honest and humble opinion. Don't do that just to have something and go big with it. I myself am kind of exemplifying exactly how I believe to do it, and that's start small, start used, start cheap. Almost everything on this truck, other than the hand tools, obviously you can buy hand tools for fairly cheap, but you got power tools. I got my weld machine, the rack I built, my truck, all the major expenses were all used. Nothing was new, and it was lower price. I've talked before, it was about $25,000 entirely. My business was set up. I was rock and rolling from scratch. No truck, no weld machine, nothing. I started from Zippo, and $25,000 invested. I was up and running and ready to take on any job thrown my way. So that's how I believe. Then I've been going at it like 2 years. So I've accumulated things as I go. As I come across something and I need it, I purchase it. And that job that I have and need it for helps pay for that new tool, rather than getting a tool and then trying to sell your service to quantify or qualify that tool or that piece of equipment you now have, right? So in a simple way of stating it, don't go big, in my opinion. Start small, work your way up, and then that way, when things do bust wide open and it's just pedal to metal, then you have the backing to sustain it, or that you want to stay in it, right? 2 years, you might figure out, I don't really want to do this anymore, and just let it all go. It's a lot easier to do when all you gotta do is just sell a truck, and you probably keep all your tools, but it'd be right out of the race and probably paid everything off within those couple years, rather than be a couple hundred thousand, in the red, and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore, because then you're stuck. Then you have to find a way to make it work, because you can't just walk away from that debt. That's still your responsibility. So just remember, the way I look at it, some people like to say, you know, does the business own you or you own the business? I've been asked this just recently. I don't believe anything owns me, but I do know that with more that I have or everything that I do have comes more responsibility. That's including your equipment and capital, money, finance. The more you have, the more responsibility you have to maintain it, to use it, to facilitate it, and ultimately, that the more you have, the more mental capacity you got to have. If you're working in numbers of $50,000, $100,000 jobs, you have to be a particular place mentally over just a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. And I'm still just a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there, guys. I am not working at $50,000 and $100,000. I am myself working up mentally to take on those jobs, be able to take on those jobs, and manage them as such. So, still small time myself, but I believe I am the epitome of what I preach, and that is start small, grow into what you're trying to have in success rather than buying it, because you can't buy success, guys. I guess that's the moral of this whole talk is you can't buy success. Earn it. Start small, earn that success rather than buying it with a big bank loan, and it might not very well work out for you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. If you have anything you want to add it. As always, I love communicating with you guys. You're awesome. You have a great day. As always, I'll talk to you later.